it's a profession knowing that people are there in the green room kind of thing and talking to them.
That's awesome.
Yes, very, very good. Yes, sir.
The meeting is being live streamed.
We're live. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Megan DiMartino, and we are here.
live. We are live. Megan DiMartino, everyone. I'm so sorry that it took a little to get us loaded, but we are set.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm Megan DiMartino, as Angeline Moore, my associate, shared, my co-producer. So excited to have you all here tonight, wherever you are across the country. And soon we're going to be in London and expanding and Philippines and just patching up the world. So I'm so thrilled that you guys are here. Angeline is assisting me, and so is Quinn. And so I was sharing with our guests here that are here live in the building of Novita Beauty, Regenerative Wellness. I'm looking behind me is the information or the banner of my skincare products that I've been developing for 33 years. And that is part of my story, as you know. And behind us is the retail stand of the Novita Spa clinical products. But I have been basically in the regenerative stem cell space for 7 years. And it started with me. And what I mean by that, because stem cells didn't start with me, but my journey started, meaning this started with me. My left knee was a challenge from the time I was 17 till 2018. I was in a lot of sports in high school and injured this left knee. And as a young person, your stem cells are active. So therefore they were, repairing and working. But as I got older, at 30, they're 50% dormant. At 60, they're 90% dormant. So in 2018, I was 68. And that summer, I had a meniscus tear. So it was bone on bone. This is not my knee, but meaning from the MRI, but this is the imaging, but this is what it looked like. And the tech said to me, "Ooh, you need surgery." But I said, "I'm not so sure." But I did research because I'm a researcher of sorts. And it basically, Dr. Google said that it was a 60-40 ratio of success. Well, 40% not working was too high for me. And then it also said it didn't last forever.
We're happy.
Okay. And so basically 5 to 10 years later, I'd be 5 to 10 years older and have to have another surgery. But my God-given patella was gone. It was a metal and plastic. So I started doing research. And how I often do research is just a referral. I mean, I was speaking to orthopedics that I knew around the country, as well as other physicians, and everyone knew of stem cell, but they weren't working in it. But finally, I found a group that had started working in stem cell, and I had to drive to Dallas, but regardless, I did, and had 1 cc in my left knee, and weeks later, I could climb a mountain. And I did. I went to Telluride that summer and did a bit of that. So the point is that no surgery, no downtime, no danger, no medication, no anesthesia. I had stem cell. And so the clients, our business was on 7th Street, 2 blocks over. And people who saw me, I mean, I really could not walk, said, "What did you do?" And I said, "Well, I had a regenerative stem cell. Could I have that?" I said, "I don't know." So I looked into it because we were a medical spa. We had all the components set. And so I put that together and we started doing regenerative stem cell at the Novita Spa Medical Rejuvenation Clinic in 2019. And then in 2021, I was introduced to the LifeWave Corporation through the company that I purchase our perinatal birth product stem cell from. They have trainings all the time, educating nursing staffs and physicians around the world. And so I took a nurse with me and to this training, and the LifeWave Corporation was there. And so I asked, and here's this patch, not an injection. And I asked the owner of that company, why were they here? And he said to me two things that were very, very powerful. Number one, the science is impeccable of this, and that the company is privately owned and very, very solid. And so to me, that was so important if I was going to get involved with something, that the company was solid. And so from there, we started doing, hello, Sarah. And excuse me, folks, for a second here, sir. So just, you can, drawing and your name tags. But basically, we started doing that in 21. I'm talking about utilizing the X39 stem cell activation patch with our patients who were having regenerative stem cell. But this past fall, I just knew in my spirit that it was time to share it with others, meaning not just folks that were having regenerative stem cell. Kawita, raise your hand, my dear. Kawita and I have known each other a long time. And Kawita had, and everyone's going to share their testimonies, as well as folks online, because Angeline has a powerful testimony. But Kawita had regenerative stem cell. And Kawita was one of the first folks that started patching back in the early period of time. Okay, so she has been, and so from that position, and that's what Julie, Nurse Julie is doing, meaning that position of the individual having regenerative stem cell and then maintaining with that and then post, because those perinatal stem cells do not stay in the body forever. Do not. Yeah. Move off this. Hello, Elsa. It is.
Yeah.
It is. No, she doesn't.
We made a little path.
Or Elva can sit here. She can sit here. No, I want you to sit here. Okay, it's good. Because I don't know who else is coming. I really don't know. So it's not a problem. Okay. So this is Elva Tally. I want you to get her a little name badge and that. But anyhow, so basically we started introducing the X39 stem cell activation patch in 21, but this past January, I expanded the horizon of it. And so Camille Walker, who's at a conference, she may pop in. There's a few people like that that may come later. That's why the back is fine for them. But basically, the essence of X39's regenerative, meaning we're talking tonight about this. That's my history of how I got involved, but I have been patching ever since myself. And so we now have many, many people who, like you guys, who are using it, but also sharing it. As I say, wear it and share it. Because if you wear it, people will see it and ask you. I mean, I'll be in the grocery store and I'll see someone with a cane or a boot or, a walker, and I'll say, so what's going on there? And then they'll say, oh my God, whatever their story is. And Quinn and I went to pick up a couch in Fredericksburg, and there was a woman there with a boot on, and he saw me in action and got her name, and we've been communicating, and she's now patching.
Wow.
Okay. Well, because guys, and you guys know this here, is that everybody, it's not just Sarah, or maybe you, Kelly, I was going to call you Kristen. I knew it was a K. But it's everyone. Everyone is born with stem cells in their body. Everyone. And at 30, 50% of those stem cells are dormant. At 60, 90% are dormant. And we've all been brought up with information about the drug cartels. Meaning that it basically that this does this and this does that. And it is our responsibility to be our own health advocate. And I am more passionate today than I've ever been about this product and what we do with what, Julie and I do, because I see the results. And when you see results, it's pretty dang easy to wear it and share it, right? But just to give you a little background of the company, and Quinn, I guess we should use the slides too, I guess. But basically, as I said, that Dr. David Green, who owns the company that had the training for the regenerative stem cell, said to me that this company the science is impeccable and that the company is very solid. I don't know what's going on there, but I'm not going to pay attention.
Sorry.
Oh, it's the slide. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm so impressed. So what he's really saying is that David Schmidt, and if you haven't visited thisisitnow.com, thisisitinfo.com, which, I'll send you all those slides, Kelly. I'll send you all of that stuff, all of it. But you should, because there's great information about what I'm going to say. If you watched one thing, it would be that website. Don't you agree? I mean, it's so full of information.
One thing, like their YouTube, so they have different, the whole presentation about what it is and the science, and then they link, different patient testimonies.
Yes, and testimonies are so powerful. And that's why we're going to spend a good deal of time on that tonight, because it really is about not one size fits all. It's as David Green says, it's for everyone, for everything, just a matter of time. So there he is. He's a phenomenal man, a phenomenal person. His heart is just amazingly wonderful. And I'll go into the history, but basically for everything, because Kelly said earlier, ladies and gentlemen, that she's been patching, but then sharing with her husband, and meaning that she'll take it off after her 12 hours. But this is a good testimony, and put it and her husband, Bear, who's here, and he'll share, is actually having some results that she isn't having. Okay. But what that's really saying is everyone, everything, a matter of time. So again, so it's imperative for us, and this is one thing I want you to own, and I'll say it throughout this, is we have to help people understand that it's, someone asked me yesterday, the gal from London, could I send her some samples? Well, no, I can't. I'm so sorry, because it's not a one and done. You just can't. I can't do that. And I explained to her, I explained and she understood, but people are so used to that mentality. So it's not, and he shares that you must share with people that it's 1 month, because it's a 30-month supply, 1 month for every decade you've been alive. So if people go into it, because the challenge is when somebody says, oh, it didn't do anything. Well, you didn't give enough time. Rome wasn't built in a day. So meaning everything for everyone, a matter of time. And you're going to hear just amazing, and I'm going to have you guys on Zoom share as well. But basically, your testimonies, because testimonies are really the essence. Go back to David, though. Yeah. No. So basically, David Schmidt is a research scientist, and there's a thing on YouTube about when he was a young boy. They're doing a documentary on him right now, but when he was a young boy, he grew up in upstate New York near Bell Labs, and he was very influenced by the researchers out of Bell Labs, and some of them were in his own family. And he just knew that someday he was going to do that, those epiphany moments. And so as he, was educated in college and so forth, he was working as a scientist for the government, our government, and pre 9/11. And he was working on some sort of technology with energy. And then 9/11 happened, and our government went into a war mode. And so he lost his contract.
It was when the Navy SEALs.
What did I say? Oh, no, but that was later.
Oh,
That's later. That's later. No, he was working on submarines. That was later. And so, then with 9/11, because the Navy SEALs were very involved over in the Middle East, they were getting hooked on amphetamines. And they came back to David Schmidt and said, can you find something that will help them stay awake for 36, 48 hours? And that's when he went into, but he was already working on energy. And that's when the body's energy. And so his first patch was the energy patch. It's still in the line. And he speaks about it very lovingly and uses it almost every day, I believe. Mm-hmm. So basically speaking, though, that was the first patch that he created. And then it went into, again, word of mouth, one, has you try it, and you sell, and it went to the Olympics. Mm-hmm. And so again, guys, this was 21 years ago when LifeWave began. And so athletes have been using the X39 for years. Well, excuse me, the energy patch for years. But he knew that the body had stem cells and that they were dormant, meaning he's been working on, and as we said, Kelly and I said, Julie and I said, meaning you can really receive a lot of this information from that one website. I mean, there's much more I'll send you. But anyhow, he knew of stem cells, meaning the aspect of the body having stem cells in it and being dormant. And so he spent $8 million of his own money in 10 years and nearly bankrupted the company. But he was passionate about this. He knew that if he could harness this, he could change lives. And that's the kind of man this is, meaning that he just has known that this can happen, but he had to put the science together. So when you receive your patches, you see the little brochure and it shows the patch on the top of the spine, the base of the spine, or the lower belly button. Well, he said, I've heard him say it, and you can go to YouTube and he talks about this all the time. But basically, when you patent something, you have to have a standardization. It can't be, well, put it wherever you want. Well, that doesn't work. So those are energy sources. And so that's why he indicated the top of the spine, the base of the spine, the lower belly button. But I have listened to him a lot. And he will say, do not get hung up on that. I was talking to someone today about that. Tell me where the right place is. No, there's really no right place. Meaning you can put it, it's not wrong to put it on the top of the spine, the base of the spine, below the belly button. But as he says, if there's an area that, let's say your knee is having a challenge, put it on your knee because it is going to work regardless. Would you like to add anything to that?
Yeah, the science is solid. There's no question in my mind that the science works. In fact, with the stem cell treatments, there's different lasers that we could even use to kind of pull those stem cells. And there are different colors and different wavelengths. So to me, the patch was such a great way to kind of mimic that laser, that energy source. And so that's how I've been instructing my patients.
But it is energy, and you have to be aware of that, meaning that, so let's talk about the science of it. The science of it, and these are the areas that we were speaking about a minute ago. But basically speaking, the body, as I said, has stem cells and they're dormant and they want to be activated. So when you're a kid, did your mother ever say to you, go out and play in the sun and get vitamin D?
No, always.
Always. I heard it all the time. Go out and play. But if you haven't, many mothers did and said, but that's not a correct dynamic. The sun it activates the vitamin D in your body. You see, the sun is not, taking a faucet and pouring vitamin D in you. It's activating your own vitamin D. And that's the same of what this photomodulation or photo energy is doing. It's that energy, which is a proprietary compound, meaning I have formulas for these products. People have tried to knock some of these products off, but they can't because these are proprietary formulas. The same difference with each patch has its own formula of what is in the center area. And the X39 is amino acids and crystals and salt compound. And that basically on your body is activating your own, like the Navy SEALs. Because when you see the Navy SEALs with that, they have the night goggles on, and you see a body that's illuminated, what is that? That is energy. That's the energy from the body. When you pass, your body becomes cold. Why? Because that energy has left. You see?
Yeah.
So we have energy in our bodies, and that compound is activating in your body, like vitamin D, GHK-Cu copper peptides. If you don't remember that whole list, just say copper peptides. But basically, it's flooding the body and activating. It's like a symphony. You see, it's a symphony of the body coming alive. That's why we suggest that you drink water with electrolytes, because it's energy. You might get lightheaded at first. You might feel dizzy, a little nauseous. That's energy. Okay? It's not negative. It's yippee-ki-yay, as they say in Texas, not on Long Island. But the point is that it is working. Okay? So therefore, it's impossible to say, oh, well, Sarah, this is going to happen. Oh, in 2 weeks, and take that, and you'll be good. No, everything for everyone, a matter of time. Now, Julie joined me in June, and I introduced Julie to the X39 and LifeWave. And why don't you share your own personal testimony?
Yeah, so interestingly enough, my patches got delivered, and I happened to be flying to my sister's 40th birthday party. And so we were flying late. We got in at like 11. Typically when I fly, I mean, I wear, support compression hose. I've worn them since I was 17 because I have really bad swelling in my lower body. It gets worse when I fly. I get off the plane, I'm fatigued, I'm swollen, and I just feel bad. And so she's used to me like picking me up and needing to go home. And so she picks me up, it's 11 p.m. And on the way to the airport, I was like, what are these things? I'll just slap them up and see what happens.
Meaning I gave them to her.
She left it on.
Right.
I was like, I don't even know what these are, but we'll try it. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt.
Right, exactly.
Flew on a late flight, landed. My sister picked me up at 11. She's like, well, how do you feel? Kind of one of those weighted sentences. And I was like, you know what? I actually feel pretty good. I'm like, I think we could go out. She's like, really? I was like, yeah, why don't we go out in Orlando? And so we actually went out to dinner and spent a couple hours catching up, which normally I would have to go immediately back to her house and fall asleep. Wow. So that was literally day one.
Day one.
Yeah. Well, day 6 hours, really.
Day 6 hours. I like that.
So yeah, that was my experience. And then, I wore them every 12 hours, very religiously for probably the first month and a half. I'm worse at wearing them now, but I still wear them. I love the energy patches. They're probably my favorite thing. They completely got me off of coffee and caffeine, so I'm not paying.
She's talking specifically about the energy patch that David Schmidt started.
Is
that S6 or something?
No, it's
No.
not energy and human.
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, it's there. It is.
But
It's there.
and they're a little cheaper than the other ones, but I wear the X39 typically at night because I noticed that I just sleep a lot better. So normally I would wake up at 2 or 3 in the morning, get up, go to the bathroom, have trouble falling back asleep, and then have kind of this in and out sleep, during that time. And I will tell you, I share them with my perimenopausal patients because it helps the symptoms to almost entirely go away.
Well,
So-
Angeline has a powerful
Yeah.
whole hormonal, but why don't you share also about your spine?
Which one?
Your spine, meaning that
Oh, yeah. So interestingly enough, I've always had a little scoliosis curvature in my spine. And so I was already actively seeing a chiropractor. I purchased a 4-month program with a guy. And I noticed when I first started wearing them after maybe a month, my upper part of my back was hurting. And I'm like, what is this? Why is it hurting me? And then I went to see my chiropractor And I'd been seeing him at that point for probably 2.5, 3 months, and he's like, Julie, your curvature is starting to straighten back out.
You see, so
Yeah.
when you have like perceiving negative, it's actually the body working
I
to
know it doesn't
repair.
hurt at all.
Yes.
That is remarkable.
Isn't it remarkable?
That's the craziest one I
Yeah.
heard.
Yeah.
That's-
Yes,
And it's not just me, another physician that was sharing, he had the same thing, he had like a lot of neck trouble.
yes,
He started to patch and his neck started the curvature started to come back.
Yes.
Yeah.
and so osteoarthritis, I mean, we could go on and on and on. And, one of the things about me, that since I've been using this so long, I had no idea, honestly. Really, I mean, I understood the stem cell dynamic of it, but I didn't understand the whole body concept of it, meaning that what it's going to actually do. When I started using X39, I had toenail fungus and I could not get rid of it. I mean, it wasn't horrible, but it was there. And then maybe 6 months later, it was gone. And I'm like, but I didn't equate it to it. I did not. I really had no idea. My hair was totally balding. I had a major bald patch up here. And I went to a stylist in Austin thinking it was this. And my hair color was not lasting. And I was like, oh, these people, they don't know what they're doing. And so I went to this gentleman and he said to me, girl, that's your scalp.
Oh my gosh.
Meaning, girl, that's your scalp. And so over time, I mean, it wasn't a one patch wonder, right? It didn't just go boom, but it was evolving. And I still get these new hair growths. And I mean, these stylists are just amazed at that. So men, it's a factor. I mean, when you start listening to these Zooms and the testimonies of these folks, I mean, it's like, holy crow. So bottom line is that it is a gift, a true gift. I really feel this way. My husband passed away in 2011 from Lewy body syndrome, which is a Parkinson's form of dementia. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. I mean, dementia and Alzheimer's are horrific, but that is a horror. I mean, just beyond. And so I really have such a passion, and that's another reason why when this helped me personally, I'm talking about meaning with my knee story piece, is that I knew I had to bring this, because when we started doing seminars, I'm going to deviate it here a bit because it ties back. When we started doing seminars, Dr. Green would ask the room, and that was a large space, and there were 30 to 50 people in that room, and he would always ask, how many of you are using steroids? 100% raise their hand, 100%. Then he said, well, how about 2? Have you ever? And 100%. Well, how about 2? 100%. He got to 4. That's when it started waning. And basically it can cause osteoporosis. And so they only have 2 options, which is surgery and or steroids. And so it's our job to be brave, to share, to wear it and share it, because it's truly a miraculous thing and a gift. Truly.
Truly.
So okay, so where are we now? So basically proprietary, let's talk about that. Have you ever heard the term in marketing, red ocean, blue ocean, that term? Well, what that really means is that this is a blue ocean product. So now, as I said, this one patch has 70 patents on just this one, but he has over 200 patents. And so basically this X39 is, but no, they can hear me, watch you guys, but thank you. But anyhow, because she has the slides up there too. But anyhow, a blue ocean means there's no competition. No competition. So I was talking to someone and they were saying about different supplements and this and that. I'm not saying that they're not good. I'm not saying that at all, but there's some that aren't. And how do you ascertain or determine which? You need people like Julie and myself. But the point is that there's no competition. So just know that, when you're sharing this with whomever, like me in the grocery store, that this is a unique let's call it a product, but science. And so this is a proprietary, meaning it's proprietary to LifeWave. Now, LifeWave as a company is the second, for the second year, is the fastest growing direct sale company in the world. So what the significance of that is that when I was introduced to LifeWave in 21, it was a 20-year-old company doing $20 million of business, which is substantial. But they had introduced X39 the year before. And so in these 4 years, it has grown. Last year was 600 million. It's now tracking to $1 billion. That's over 3,000% growth. No product, and I've been manufacturing products a long time. No product can have a growth like that without working. So when the gentleman said to me back in 21, you know, the science is impeccable and the company is solid as a rock, that meant so much to me, because if I'm going to get involved with something, I have to believe in it. Now, this young lady right here, Miss El Vitale, why don't you share your story about glycolic?
Well, gosh, it started in 1990.
Well, let me preface this. Elva is an esthetician,
Yes.
and she's also now a real estate agent in beauty. And I met this young lady at a Armstrong McCall distributor trade show back in 1993.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she has been using the first glycolic, but then Novita products since then. And she has clients. I mean, she's still even though she's not focused on her aesthetic work, but she's still uses the products, but also, you know, she'll order for this one and that one and so forth. So bottom line is, it's very important to me that products work, that they perform, that they do what they say they're going to do. And if I don't feel that way, and if I don't see that result, then I can't support it. And so that's why in the November-ish of last year, when the Holy Spirit just said to me, "You're doing a disservice." Okay, now what? You know, and so I knew it was time to share it with everyone, because it's time for everyone to get help. And so Miss Elva, you know, again, so I came out and said, you know, you need to look at this girl. And that's how, you know, that started, you know.
It is.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, it's been a good journey
Is
so far.
a quick question, is an esthetician, is that something that does anesthesia?
No.
No,
Skincare.
Skincare. Okay, I just want to.
Skincare specialist, yes.
Good
Yes,
question.
very good. No, but that's sufficient. So 20 million and growing and growing and growing. 80 countries. I mentioned I spoke to London today, just this morning. Not a Me Too. That is that green, that blue ocean, a true blue ocean product. That's important. It really is. It gives you that confidence. Okay, next slide, my friend. And this is back to, they received this Bravo Award, which I, no understanding of it, but it's a big deal in the direct sale world. And they've received this. Somebody asked me for this information that I spoke to today. But this is a big deal to receive this, and 3,000% growth. It's huge, huge. So
Oh my God.
we go on with that.
Number one in the world of direct sales.
So. Okay, so go back to the other one. Okay, so I want to take time now, guys. And Angeline, I'm going to have our guests here share their testimonies, but then I would love whomever is there with us, including you, my dear, including you, to share your testimony. Okay.
Got it.
So I would like you to share your name, just your first name, and how long you've been patching, and what have you seen? So you can start, Elva.
Sure. So I'm El Vitale, and I've been patching about a month and a half. And I was having for a long time hip pain, and just speaking with Megan, and just it kind of started with interest in just this stem cell before I even knew about the patch. So I asked Megan what it was all about, went to a meeting, ordered some patches, having good results with my hip. And I was telling Megan, I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, I'm not losing weight, but like, I just, like this part of my stomach area body just feels light. It just feels, and I really didn't feel like I was bloated either. So I don't really know how to explain what I'm feeling, but it is just this sense of lightness, like a flatness.
And are you just using X39 or do you use 49 as well?
So just X39 and then every other day I'm using
Eon, which is for inflammation. We'll get
So
to
maybe
that.
that's what it is. I'm
Well,
not
it is.
sure,
It's
but,
part of that.
mhm.
Yes, it is. But basically,
Energy,
visualize.
got it.
Yes.
Energy. I haven't had my thyroid checked. I have Hashimoto's, and I can only think that it's helping that
Right.
because, you know, at night you're sitting on the couch.
That's
unless
part
you
of
get
why
back
you're,
up and
that's
fall
part of
asleep,
why
you
you
know,
feel thinner or less
You look like
bloated.
you're glowing.
Mhm.
Oh.
You have great skin, honestly, both of you.
Oh.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Megan.
I want your skin. Yeah.
But that's part of it.
Yeah, so I guess I can wait for 6 months to, maybe the collagen too, and so a month and a half and, you know, I'm 62, so I'm waiting for the 6 to 9 month to really go, wow, this is exciting, you know, and I'm already excited, so.
It's
Yeah.
fabulous. And again, like wear it and share it, meaning you cannot not share with what you're experiencing,
Right.
right? So, Kelly, Brittany, who is, let me share this. I met Brittany on the Capitol of Texas steps in 23. And our dear friend Carla Runner lives in Little Rock, Arkansas. And she has done every year a prayer, not vigil, but a prayer gathering for the country and specifically for the Native Americans on the capital of every state. And so I met Brittany on the Capitol of Texas steps in 2023. And Brittany is a beautiful girl inside and out, and she has a ministry called Kinzakori, which is a Japanese word for pottery that breaks and then put together with gold leaf. And her husband was a Nissan car dealer for 20 years. And she called me, just like you said about, I know the girl does stem cell, meaning anyone who knew me knew that I did this for quite a few years now. But she called me in March of last year and said, I know you do stem cells. Have you ever heard of LifeWave? And I said, well, actually, I use it and I introduce it to people. And so she was very gracious and she didn't say, well, join me. But basically, she said, I have her why. So I want you to think about this, guys. Her why, and she shared that with me that day. She said, I have to get Rick out of the dealership. It's killing him. He's working 7 days a week. And we have 4 children. He's never home. And I have to do something. So this was a woman with a mission, guys, this girl. And so you met her in Round Rock. And you as well, but she, that was in March. So remember that fateful night in November when I knew, because I was just going it alone. I'd never done direct sale in my life, ever. Because I sell these products to people like Elva, who in turn sell to their clients, and people like Julie, who, medical spas, who share it with their patients. So, and then we have a website that has, a shopping cart on it. So I did not. But anyway, I was just going alone. And so I just knew I needed help. I needed a team. I needed support. I know how to communicate. And if I believe in something, as I shared, I certainly can do that. But I knew it was beyond me if I was going to help you guys. Okay. And so anyway, I called her, I texted her and I said, could we speak, could we visit on Monday? I'd like to talk to you about LifeWave. And she said, how about now? And it was a Saturday night and I was sitting in my office and she said, how about now? I said, well, sure. And so she shared this with me, guys. Now, mind you, this is November, early November, like 5th, 6th, something like that. And she called me in March and she said that she and Rick, she started by herself and she did a lot of these all over Houston and she just kept going and going and going. And she said that they sat down and determined what they needed to, they needed to earn from this in order for him to sell his share of the car dealership. And because people had approached him. And so they knew that. And then and she said, and we just closed last week.
Awesome.
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 And so I share this and she shares this all the time. But the point is that when you come on Zooms and you'll see them together now and they're a team and it's so exciting to see them together. And he's as passionate as she. And he stopped snoring. He was, he was supposed to be using a CPAC and he didn't want to use it. And he was bleeding internally, which he didn't know. And so there were just other things. And so he's lost a lot of weight. He looks great. He looks younger. You look at his pictures and just because it's the vitality, but you can see the joy with them of doing what I'm saying, something that's helping others and returning to them. So as I said, then I said, okay, let me do this. And so I just put that all together. And then Camille moved over because Camille was with me, and so she was Camille Walker, who might come in later. She's at an event, but she's a girlfriend and I was having dinner with her shortly after I came back from that training where I was introduced to LifeWave and her eye was twitching. And I said, like girlfriends do, what is going on? And she said that, she had root canal and so forth. And I just took out a sleeve, as they're called, and handed it to her. And so basically she has other things she will share if she was here, her testimony, but but a lot of orthopedic back and so forth issues. But basically her mother, who is now 93, who was not 80 something or other, then said, you will never not get these patches from me. And now her mom is sharing with people, with what, from her heart. So you can't help but do that,
Mm-hmm.
So Kelly, so your mom, who I shared earlier, has been patching for a long time. And you had perinatal back in Christmas time of 22, maybe 23, 22, 23. But you were here for Christmas.
Yes.
You and
Yes.
your husband. Well, I remember it.
My life's been crazy, so
Yes. But she and her husband have moved back to Texas.
Yes.
They were in California.
Oh,
And so mom introduced her to the X39. So the reason I then went to Brittany is because Brittany does a testimony Tuesday during the day and then again in the evening. And so Kelly, I invited anyone who wanted to participate. And so Kelly, because Kawita receives the text thread, like I sent to you now. And so this one shows up and raises her hand.
So brave for me.
I mean, I was like, whoa, there's Kelly, there's Kelly. So share with our guests.
So I started on August 28th, so it's not even been quite a month,
Okay.
but pretty much immediately I did notice more energy. I literally felt like my eyes were more open and just felt better. I was sleeping better. Now I've had 2 hip replacements already. I was now having, because walking funny for years, my knee was head in that same direction. And I started taking it, it doesn't hurt. Cause my next step was injections,
Sure,
and that just buys time until surgery.
exactly.
It does not hurt. I had a blood clot in 2014, and I've always worn something on this leg, a sleeve, compression socks, every day. I get up and I put it on even before shower. I don't wear it anymore. I'm not swelling, it's not discomfort, gone. And then just recently, I noticed I don't crave sweets as often,
Well, that's, yes. Mhm.
and that's a good thing,
Mhm.
because I do. And then just recently, I was brushing my teeth. Cause I've always had, gums that are a little bit swollen,
Mhm.
they're flatter,
Mhm.
they feel totally different.
Mhm.
And I've always had dental issues. Oh. And I had pretty bad eye bags in the last couple days as I wear it, I feel like they're changing.
I what?
Eye bags.
Oh, back.
Eye bags. That's a big deal.
Yes, exactly.
And then the other day.
Fair, trust me, it's a big deal.
My grandson's in kindergarten, they do the crisscross apple tots. I have not sat on the floor because I can't get up for years. I got a picture to prove it, but I sat down and crossed my legs. And I got up.
Wow.
No, remember, I have not exercised, because I just recently, seriously, a year ago, got the second hip.
That's why it is, because of the
So,
hip there.
I can never
That's-
stop.
that's- Never.
And I do have lupus and thyroid issues, so I'm really hoping,
When you
get
have,
off all
and when you have your blood work
Wow.
done, yes, you're gonna see,
Are
yes.
you using,
that's what I'm,
are you using just X39?
X39, and I just started the Aeon.
Eon.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I just started doing that too.
Mhm. So you just mentioned thyroidism. So back to Brittany, when our evening call there in November, she shared also that she had been diagnosed for years with Hashimoto's, which is a thyroid condition. And that she had with you, like you, and you have blood work on a regular basis. And she said, so March was when they began, and 4 months into it, so that would have been in the latter spring, she had blood work. And the office called and said, Dr. So-and-so would like to see you. And he said, why are you doubling up on your medication? She said, I'm not. He said, well, your numbers show that you don't need medication.
Wow.
Yes,
I
yes.
stopped my thyroid pills a couple months ago because I don't get tired or anything. Oh, I can't do it. So I stopped, so I'm excited to get my blood work done.
Well,
In October next
Mhm.
month.
I think it's really important too, the FDA just sent a letter to all the physicians, by the way, the nurse practitioners.
Yeah.
And we have 12 months to switch all of our patients off of desiccated thyroid, NDT, which was like the OG thyroid medicine.
Mhm.
It's been in this country over 100 years.
Oh, my.
Because the FDA is now afraid of the animal byproducts that are in the natural
Oh,
desiccated.
gosh.
Everyone vegan because I can't go on.
Yes, so it
Oh.
includes armor, it includes NDT, and then they have to switch over to levothyroxine, that's a T4 only, I know. And only works for 2% of patients, by the way. Or a T3, which is.
1 in 50 people that it'll even work for?
No,
Yes.
2%.
2%.
2% of
One
all
in-
the people
that's terrible.
that have thyroid.
And you're getting side effects.
And exactly, Kelly.
And so I deal
Bad.
with very complicated medical issues, so.
Right.
I have and I put all of I'm gonna switch all my patients over to patches.
Mhm,
And I
mhm.
have different bioregulators that I use to kind of heal the thyroid.
Well, that's the other thing, guys. It's like how
Because I
Julie
will
is sharing.
support it.
So, huh?
I will not support.
No. And so Julie, like many physicians, honestly, guys, it's a shift is happening, a shift. And the physicians and nurse practitioners and RNs do not want to work in the world anymore of that.
That's right.
They don't want to be complicit.
Well, it's
With-
a money grab, right?
It is.
The synthetic
Yes, Yes.
Mhm.
And what's
And
going
the
on
next
with
thing is
vaccine?
the bioidentical hormones, which I also specialize in, and so I'm a little afraid of what's gonna happen.
Wow.
And
That's the
then
one they've been prescribing for 100 years? Or like,
Over 100 years.
Really?
It was the original thyroid medicine.
Wow.
I mean, it's been used by.
Billions years ago, and it probably did a good job. I mean,
I think
it's
it's
so much.
I don't think it's a safety issue.
No.
No, I think it's a money grab.
Yeah, it's a.
They got
it's
some
a-
out there,
it's
sometimes
just-
they have for the
We
last
could go
100
on and on with that. We could go on and on with that.
I stay away from them.
So I want, is there anything, yes, sir.
really, so you said it's only effective in 2% of people, or like?
Synthroid or levothyroxine,
You-
it's only effective in 2% of patients.
So what's,
So over 80% are on a natural thyroid medicine.
but for years, Quinn, every woman was on Synthroid. I mean, or many.
Genuinely, a lot, a lot.
They were on NDT. So a lot of people use the Vesicase
Oh.
version.
But I'm saying, did you see, hello, Calvin? Did you see a shift though from Synthroid? Because I do intakes with people and Synthroid seemed to be the,
Period of time where Synthroid was being pushed, meaning
Yes.
like in the guidelines.
right.
The Synthroid or T4 only was what we were told to prescribe.
Mhm.
But what we realized very quickly, like Hashimoto's, it doesn't work at all, by the way.
Yeah.
But
That's the point. That is the point.
anyways, you need a percentage of T3, T4.
Mhm.
So you either have to add levothyroxine, which is always branded, by the way, if it's a brand medication, you're gonna pay hundreds of dollars out of pocket for that.
So the essence is you have something right here that is going to assist you, whether some people will never meet a person like Nurse Julie, you know? And so therefore, and that is a blessing to be able to work with someone that has the understanding, the knowledge to tie all of this together, you see?
Yeah.
But really a blessing, but there are not that many Nurse Julies out there,
Oh,
okay?
I've never heard of this.
No. Well, you know what I mean. But, and Calvin, hello Calvin, and Calvin has been a patient of Nurse Julie's, and he has been patching now since maybe August,
No, no longer than that.
okay,
maybe
July?
May-ish, maybe.
No, we just
Yeah,
met in June.
Was it June, July, when was it?
It probably was July.
July, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
I was having some issues with sleeping.
Mhm.
and
Well,
so-
yeah, but we'll circle back to, we're doing testimonials. But we're talking about hormones and things like that. So therefore, sorry. So I would like you, Angeline, to share your story, your testimony, okay?
Hello, yes, of course.
Okay.
Let me
Okay.
see this. Can you guys
Are you
hear
gonna,
me
are you gonna
okay?
come on the screen or no?
Can you
Yeah.
hear me okay?
Yep, we hear you perfectly. Here's my baby doll, Miss Angeline Moore.
Hi, everyone.
Any of the things you've seen.
I'm so honored to be here. My name is Angeline Moore. I'm from Central Florida. I also have 4 boys. My 4th sunshine was born right after one of the hardest seasons of our lives. And for me, life has started to feel like survival. I was dealing with cycles that left me completely drained, weakness that lingered, fatigue that never seemed to lift. Ladies, you know what I'm talking about. The nights were no matter what I did, or how tired I was, just sleep could not come to me. I literally thought that was my new normal. And then back at the end of February, beginning of March, I started something new, right? As you guys know, within weeks, I noted a shift. I had deeper sleep, I had more energy, my body felt like it was remembering how to heal again. And let me be real, life got super busy and I stopped for a month. Immediately, everything I thought I had gotten rid of came back. The fatigue, the afternoon crash, the pain, the sleepless nights. And that's when I realized never again would I go without. I got back right on track the next month and I haven't looked back since. And this wasn't just about me, you guys, with all of the things for me. I wanted to patch my husband after going through 10-hour surgeries following his near-death experience when our son was being born last year. He's been living with ongoing shoulder and elbow pain. And one of the biggest changes I noticed with him since I started patching him, I go, I'm gonna patch you, is not just how much he's improved in some of his pain discomfort, but how he slept. He used to snore so heavily, and it even showed signs that he needed that loud machine that you're supposed to sleep with somehow.
CPAP.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called.
Right,
But since starting, his snoring has reduced. It's like just normal level, just sounds, like the rest of my sons and all the boys and even my dog snore, right? But he's resting better than ever before. And then there's my sister. She's been struggling with constant fatigue, memory issues, nausea. Last year, she was diagnosed with a rare brain tumor, and her cholesterol, her thyroid, her iron levels, all her blood work has been crazy. So she's often sick, she's often sleeping, and her treatments take so much out of her. And I knew that she needed this. So I just started patching her, and my mom has called her constantly. She's like, "Oh, your sister just seems so vibrant now." She's like, "What's changed?" I'm like, I patched her, Mom. You need a patch. And so I'm slowly starting to get everybody to know that, guess what? If you got something going on, I got a patch for that. So,
Right, that's a good one. I love that, Angeline. I got a patch for that.
yeah.
But she also, not to, there's a couple of gentlemen in the room, Angeline, but, well, three. But meaning that you had a high-risk pregnancy as well with our sweet
Yeah.
Jeremiah that was there.
Yeah.
And that was before patching, but that's the culprit of that is still there. And that was one of meaning fibroids. And that is, but that is what has been also mitigated and helping you with your flow that was part of it, draining you.
I would literally call off work to take a full day and just stay in bed, cover my head. My husband knew. He would just like come in and be like, "I know you're hungry," and he would like bring me some food, and he was like keep the kids away from me, and it was bad. It was so bad.
Yes, exactly. So, as everyone shares their testimony, I know that it's evoking in you saying, I know this person, I know that person, I know this person, because and it does. I mean, because you can see with, the vaccine injury that we're all seeing around us. My own sister, and she has the same DNA as I do. Meaning my parents lived to 96 and 94 on their own and no assistance. And so she has the same DNA, and she had a stroke and a heart incident, and now she has a pacemaker. And I was there in July, and her body was full of fluid. She couldn't walk. They drained it, but again, it is incumbent upon us to, like she said, the husband goes, "I don't know, boom, put it on," just do it, as Nike says, just do it. So do you want to, Kelly, and excuse me, before you go, Kelly, how many people are here, Angeline? Anybody?
We have 8 people online with us. So I don't know if anybody else would like to say hello or come up and say a testimony. We have Lori, Michelle, Deborah, iPhone user. Oh, we lost somebody, but that's okay. Anybody would like to say anything, you can unmute and I will spotlight you. Deborah, I see you unmuted. Would you like to share? I don't think we can't hear you, Deborah. If you're trying to share.
And we can circle back.
Okay.
We can get.
I would like to really.
No, I was going to bring it back to you. Go ahead, my friend.
So I'm Quinn. I'm obviously the youngest out of all of us, but
What do you mean, obviously?
Sorry. I haven't had much pain in my life I haven't broken anything or like torn anything, nothing serious. I know like a lot of kids my age have, but I used to play football, and there was this one time I blocked and I felt such a sharp pain in my shoulder. It was like, instant, and it was limp. I couldn't move it for probably 15 minutes really, and I was trying to do anything with it, but anyway, over time, like it kind of started feeling better. I mean, it started feeling a little more normal, and then after a while I forgot about it. But you know, even like right now when I turn it like this clicks every time, like it snaps in and out. But when I've only worn the patch for one day, only one day. I wore it for like, I actually slept with it, so I wore it longer than I'm supposed to. But when I like at the end of it or towards, I don't know, it was before I went to bed. Right before I went to bed, I just like noticed there was nothing, no snapping, there was nothing. It literally felt just completely normal, or it felt like I never had anything wrong with the shoulder at all. So I don't know. It was only I only did it for one day, obviously, so I don't have a super good like direct. Oh, I know this and this, but I mean, just that one day though really turned a different side for me though for how I view this patch right here.
So one of the
yeah.
things about that is Quinn is 20, and so he still has active stem cells.
Mhm.
So when a child cuts themselves, for instance, and they, in a day, you see the scab forming and they're regenerating. Well, when I would cut myself, that would not be the case. It would take days and so forth. And so, but now I noticed that much quicker with things of that nature. But with back to you and what you're just sharing is that your body is responding. Remember, everyone for everything, just a matter of time. So because that he is, you know, a younger person, his cells are much more active, you know. My own brother, and when you just said this, his name is Albert. And Albert is 18 months younger than I. And my two older siblings were, my sister is almost, that I mentioned a minute ago, is almost 9 years older. And my brother is 4 years older. So Al and I, we were like Siamese twins. And so we grew up together. And Albert's always kind of lived off the grid, but he's a very interesting man, and we're good friends. But he lives in Eastern Tennessee and has a heart of gold. And during the hurricane aftermath, he got to Al's mode and just took care of Johnson City with a team of people. But Albert was about 15 years ago, very heavy. He's tall, a man, but regardless heavy. And it was playing a total destruction on his body. And what stopped him though was he was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And but not only type 2 diabetes, but he was dealing with sores, and we're talking about healing. And so he was a mess. And so he has controlled that with diet, and he's doing well, but it also played havoc, like you said, with his hip. And so he could not, as he would say, you know, I would walk and this foot would be like at right angle. And so not only was it painful, but it was popping out. So he has not had a hip replacement, and he's not going to, but he's had maybe the last 8 years, a lot of pain in his, and osteoarthritis, it sets in, inflammation sets in. So basically he called me, and he lives, as he calls it, the deep green. So he has no Wi-Fi, this guy. And so anyhow, but he calls when he gets a couple bars. And so at night, Al will call me like at 11 o'clock. Okay, how you doing? And so he said to me, this was in probably February, I'm going to have heart surgery. Excuse me? I'm sorry, excuse me? And it was a little valve thing, but I'm not minimizing that, but it was not open heart surgery, you know? So I said, okay, I'm not messing around. I'm sending these patches. Well, he doesn't have an address, so I had to send it to the pastor. He has a PO box, but you know, so I sent it to his pastor friend. And so Albert calls me probably in April. It says, so subjectively, it's the way he talks. Subjectively, I see a big difference. Okay, tell me. So he said, and he tells me that his hip is not popping out, and that so therefore it's not exacerbating this dynamic here. So he's in less pain, and everything we're saying about focus and energy, and you know, and he does have that regardless, but he's seeing that. Well, anyway, 2 weeks ago, he went to his foot doctor, who was one of his best buds because of what happened to him. And this doctor said to him, Albert, do you look at your feet ever? He said, the scars on your legs and your feet are gone. So Albert is now a brand partner. so no Wi-Fi, nothing, but we have a tag team going. where he knows a lot of people all over the East Coast, but so he'll call them, talk to them, then I send him some stuff that I'm gonna send you. And so then basically he follows up and so forth. So, but because he's a good man and he's not going to share things that are not true, you know, people are buying, you know, the X39 to try. But so again, wear it, share it, it's about the sharing. It truly is. It really is. Because, and then as I don't know who this is, it could be David and others, but in another 5 years, guys, you're going to be very thankful that you did pay attention, because this is going to be known all over the world. Because it truly, like what Julie's doing, turn on your light, you know, and the work that we're doing, it just enhances it and work with it. Because again, the other term that I want, and I didn't see it on the slides, is non-transdermal. We're talking about medication. It's a very important thing to understand. Really important, very important thing to understand. That means, because we all know nicotine patches, right?
Yeah.
We all know as estheticians, you know, collagen patches and things like that, but those are transdermal. That means it goes into your bloodstream, okay? This is non-transdermal. Remember I said, it's the light energy of your own body activating the copper peptides, activating the stem cells, okay? So why, like Brittany's story, not story, but testimony about her Hashimoto's. I mean, you're going to see that. I mean, I can't say it's going to be 4 months, 6 months. I don't know, but you are going to see a difference. And everyone included, everything for everyone, just a matter of time. But basically speaking, this is not competing or conflicting. So if you're on heart medication, if you're on hormone, there's no challenge.
Just may get you off those things.
Amen, sister.
Most likely.
Amen.
It's
Amen.
most likely, yes, it will.
So somebody asked me earlier, how did I know Quinn? Or how did I meet Quinn? Well, this is Sarah, and Sarah is Lori's sister. And Lori's on the, but she can't talk because she has that bronchial thing. But she's there. Hello, Lori. Hello, hello.
This is my lovely nephew,
Yes.
Glenn.
So this is a family affair, okay? And so, Calvin, why don't you share a bit about your mom and what's going on?
Well,
Speaking about family affairs.
yeah, family affair. My mom, several years, actually a year ago in September, maybe 15th or so, she came to live with me. I'm a full-time caretaker now. She's 85, so she's got some early dementia. She has Parkinson as well. So I got my timeline kind of mixed up because I was thinking weeks and not a month. But I started this, I said, well, I'll try because I was having some issues sleeping as a result of a procedure that I had, prostate procedure working with Julie. So I called her, contacted her, and she introduced the patches to me. And immediately I was able to notice the sleep pattern. I was down to about 2 hours of sleep. I'm working full time from home. So it was really getting difficult. And so I wore the patch, I think, maybe 3 weeks. And I was up to about 5 hours of sleep. So I'm thinking, wow, this is really good. And I checked last night, so I was almost at 7 hours. I'm able to sleep now. I do wear a CPAP machine, but I'm able to sleep much better now. And so I said I would try it all the month of July for myself. And then in August, I would start my mother on it. And so I started her on it. We have physical therapy coming into the home, that kind of thing. She had some real mobility challenges. She's not able to move around as much. But I've noticed that she's moving a little better. She has severe flat feet. We're not really dealt with that a whole lot. But she said she was sleeping better. And I can say that I have noticed her mobility. Even with the therapist, she's able to kind of get around with that. So we'll see what happens as we both continue to wear these patches. Hopefully, she'll be able to get off the walker and she'll be able to move around again, even at 85.
That's great.
But you see an improvement
I do, yeah.
with her
I know some.
and her clarity and her movement, so it's only going to get better. It truly is only going to get better. So Miss Marilyn,
Yes.
now Marilyn and I met in very interesting story, actually. Marilyn is with Katai. I don't know if you guys met Katai when we were in Round Rock with the Asian gal.
Yeah.
Okay, and so basically here's Brittany, then Megan, and then, Camille, and Camille brought in Katai. Okay, and so Katai introduced, and she has a health food store in Round Rock. And we met Katai when we came back from Fredericksburg. So Marilyn called me, and it was the most bizarre thing. She had some questions, and she wasn't getting, because Katai is busy and she, has a retail store. So Brittany said, call Megan. So she called me and we were talking. And about, so remember, I've been using and sharing the X39 and the other patches, and we'll talk about those in a minute. But since 21. So in 22 maybe, I met this gentleman, Roy something or other, and he has a long-term care company, insurance company. Met him through a friend of mine who said, oh, because of this, you should meet him. Well, we met, and that was that. But this is the man that she had questions about, and his mother, and the connection. It's like God has this like da. I mean, just bizarre. Yes. And so anyway, but so
She is an Edward Center as well.
snort.
Yes.
Yes. So yes, he's been here physically here.
He's like famous, like.
Well, in this network, I mean, in this
What he
marketplace.
does.
Yes, for sure. So you have been patching for how long? Just your,
So I started patching mid-July,
Mhm.
and so it's been about 2 months. I started out with the X39, and then I went with the Eon in addition to the X39. And I personally noticed within the first week differences. I was amazed and really excited that with what some of others have also noticed, my sleep was better. I realized I was dreaming again. I hadn't really remember my dreams in a long time, and that was huge for me. I was sleeping more through the night because I was struggling with my sleep before that. Also, I had better mental clarity. I was just thinking better and feeling better. I just had a general overall just wellness and happiness even. Sometimes I would wake up in the mornings and I feel sluggish and even down. And I don't really experience that anymore. I have this natural energy. I want to get up. I want to get my day started. Let's see, what else have I experienced? To remember everything, because it's all these things that are kind of adding up. Well, I do want to share that my mom passed from dementia and Alzheimer's, and I want to be proactive and prevent that.
Yes.
And I know with the patch, this can really help.
Yes.
And it was very difficult for my mom going through that. My dad passed from congestive heart failure. I learned with the patch that after patching consistently for six months, your vascular heart health has reversed. For the age has reversed by 8 years. I mean, that is so amazing.
Repeat that.
It's remarkable.
Now, that's one slide that is not on here, Angelina. I don't know if you can get that one with all the, hold on one second. The 4,000 genes resetting in immediately, if you can find that, but it's okay if you can't. Keep going.
Keep going or
No, just repeat that.
Repeat that. Oh, so I was really surprised to learn, just blown away to learn that if you are patching consistently for 6 months, your vascular heart age is reversed 8 years. And with my dad having so much difficulty his last years, I just don't want to be the same fate of that. I feel like I'll have a better quality of life now being on the patches, because it was really hard seeing my parents age the last 10 to 20 years.
Yes.
They just struggled with so many different things. I mean, I found out this patch does so many things. It has so many benefits. 2 things that
that I would like to eventually see is I have tinnitus. I've had tinnitus for about 2 years now. And I'm hoping that eventually I won't experience that because I've learned that with tinnitus, it's not a hearing issue, it's more with your neurons. And that can lead to dementia and Alzheimer's.
It's a gateway to it.
And I've been told there's nothing you can do. I've been to 2 specialists. There's absolutely nothing you can do, I've been told. So I've heard of 2 testimonies so far, where after 7 to 8 months, one of them, the tinnitus was completely gone, and the other one gone, and maybe just a little bit of the tinnitus.
Well, I'll connect you with Michelle. She's a special ed teacher here in Georgetown. And she was here last month, but she couldn't make it tonight with a meeting. But she, again, I've known Michelle a long time, and I didn't know her story. I mean, I really didn't, meaning as a spa owner, right? But she came to one of our seminars, and she had, and this was in 2019, she had a lot of stem cell because she had drop vertigo. You've met her.
No,
No.
I mean, there's so much I can do.
But Michelle has had drop vertigo, meaning vertigo, but drop.
You passed out?
And she had, yes, and she had a head injury and, but tinnitus. Anyway, to make a very long story short, she had quite a bit of this, but she has been using the X39, the Eon, the glutathione, she patches a lot. And she has no vertigo, no tinnitus, nothing.
That's
And it's
awesome.
maintained. Now I call her the weather person because she senses a low pressure coming in, you know, but she doesn't have tinnitus, that ringing, that low
Yes.
pressure and that pressure, and it's changed her life. Yes. So
That's great
yes,
to know.
yes.
And you have information about them.
I have a weird special interest in neurodegenerative diseases and
Fantastic.
even in intranasal stem cells.
Yes.
And I mean.
And that is what Michelle had. She had intranasal. Yes, and yes. So come here and we'll do a consult again with all of that as well. Yes. Yes. But again, it will happen for you. It truly will.
But I'm really excited and I feel so blessed to have the patches and I will never go without the patches. Even if I miss a few hours or one time I drove away and I drove back home to get my patches. You know,
I
they
have
just-
mine in my purse.
So that's what I want Sarah to share, she and Laura and I have an intro of them. But basically that is in my experience, and I'm just gonna share my experience is that the thing that we have to overcome, again, I said earlier, is that people's prejudice of, oh, the doctor said, or this, you know, what they know, what they've done. It really, it's so ingrained, it's so ingrained.
Yes.
And that really is, and that's where can you just not stop them, meaning that ripping to a person, sending them to the video to join, you know, one of the Zooms, you know, things of that, or if they don't come, to send them the replay, if something is pertaining to them and what's going on with them. Because again, it's, you know, I was with my sister, I mentioned and she's still not patching. But, exactly. But I was there in July because my big birthday and my daughter Jill's big birthday were coming up, so we met in New York. She lives in Canada now, my daughter. And to see the cousins and the family type of thing. And my brother-in-law said to me, so May, with this, you know, so May, is this FDA approved? I said, it will never be approved or denied, Roger, because it's not a food or a drug. But it's approved as a medical device. The FDA, okay? But I mean, so smug and so like, no, you know, no, and then I went into, but you know, I fight my battles, you know, and I'd rather have Albert, remember Albert, the deep green boy, you know, you know, because you can't refuse fact. You can't refuse fact. And I said, Albert, get a letter from your physician. He said, yes, the next time I'm there, you know, to document what he said. And furthermore, he had heard of X39 because he saw the patch, Albert had his patch on. And he said, I've heard about this, you know, and he said, let's talk about this. Meaning the doctor.
I'm honestly, I mean, I have to get going. I apologize. I gotta put my.
Oh,
notes
please,
together,
please,
but-
please. Thank you so much for being here.
I mean, I'm definitely seeing a shift in medicine, but to be honest, it's being driven by all of you. You know, because you're demanding better care and you're taking care of yourself, and now we have access to so much information. I mean. Calvin won't admit this, maybe not in front of everybody, but he hated me when he first.
You told me that, Calvin. You didn't tell me that.
Hated a little strong, but in that direction.
But I'm direct, you know, and I don't bullshit.
No, you did not.
So anyway.
It
comes on a little hard.
It's good. And don't you think with RFK Junior
Yeah.
doing some
Yeah.
things, that's gonna, it's a
He also
small.
uses X39.
That's.
He does.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm hoping that his voice gets better.
No.
I know, that poor
That was-
guy.
That would be so cool.
We have to proceed.
No,
No, vaccine. I wonder, I wonder if he can still help some.
Vaccine.
Oh, no wonder he's passionate. That's how they got our stuff?
Yeah.
For the vaccine.
Anyways.
Yeah, we can want to.
It was the regular flu.
Oh, wow.
Really?
So anyways, yeah, I would hope that we're going in the right direction, but, you know, then you hear about the desiccated thyroid stuff, and I'm like, I don't know what's going on with this. So, I don't know, I mean, I'm here to help whoever.
Yes.
I have a functional medicine background, you know, I'm doing the stem cell, regenerative stem cell, but I also have cerebrolizin is a great peptide that you can do via IV. There's a whole protocol for neurodegenerative diseases. So yes.
She joined me in June and I met this gentleman in July. That's why I know.
You're right.
Yes, yes, we.
And you'll have 2 of these meetings per month?
Well, I'm gonna definitely do one a month.
One is great.
Definitely. And when we grow out of here, which we are, my friend that owned a gallery, the Vera, remember Vera, the V, the scarves, the Vera scarves, back in the 70s, remember those?
Yeah.
Well, they own the whole
No.
archive of Vera. And they have designed, I mean, the space is so stunning. It's one of the old buildings on 8th Street. And it's created an art gallery, really. So I asked Brett, you know, and could we use it? And he said, please, you know, so we'll use that.
And also, I think for anyone that has extra questions, I think I'm definitely gonna be starting like a one time a month, you know, evening call, just kind of a Q&A in my brain.
Absolutely.
That's really smart. I think that's very smart.
Yeah, cause I have so many people that, I mean, I get texts constantly all day long.
Questions, yeah, people want to know, they do.
They wanna talk to me, but it's easier for me to aggregate everybody, cause I'm, you know, I'm raising 2 little kids.
Yeah.
So
Well, thank you.
we'll push all that out.
Since this is a medical device, do you know if HSA can pay
It
for it?
isn't covered, it's not, it
Okay.
doesn't pay.
I know,
I've
maybe
called-
with time.
I mean, the question
Maybe
is,
with time.
I could carry it here and get it covered with HSA, but, you know, then you're kind of.
Well, then, yeah, then that's not the direct sale thing,
Yeah.
it's
Oh,
it's more
okay.
of that. And
Okay,
and it's,
Okay, I understand what you're saying.
it is because of that.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because again, it's not a medical, but I've called, I've spoken to them, but it doesn't, and it will, you know, if you had inventory and you did that, that's a different story. But from what we're doing here
I understand.
and wearing it
Yeah.
and sharing it, it doesn't.
And if you have to pay for your own health insurance, it's still cheaper than health.
Well, that's the other thing.
You know, you decide you don't want to.
I mean, I
Yeah.
carry several supplements, and the one supplement I have, which is backed by science as well, costs double of these pouches.
Double.
Double. So you'll pay $200 a month for a supplement.
So, and as you build your businesses, your patches will be paid for, you know, and there's so many, dynamics, huh? And supplements, exactly right, amen, amen. Because again, that's my personal why. I asked everyone, I think you hadn't come yet, but to really look at your why. And my girlfriend right here, I know her mother better, but her mother is one of the hardest working humans I know, actually. And she's a delightful person as well, but a hardworking girl. And what do these both do? They drive Ubers.
Wow.
My sister,
You
you
don't?
said mother. You called her my mother.
Oh, I meant your
Well,
sister.
she's old enough.
Lori, that isn't what I meant. Lori, it's not what I meant. Lori, it's not what I meant. Sisters, and they're, but what's interesting about this, about both of them, but I can only speak for Lori and she can't talk, so I'll talk for you. Is that, it's in a, Lori drives the, do you drive the, premium car?
No,
No.
no.
Lori takes on a huge financial burden. She rents this amazing car, but it's a payment every week. Oh my God. And she has a professional, she's been working with a company that puts programs together for businesses, but that has gotten a bit soft. So therefore, she has been doing this because the bills don't stop. And I said, no, you've got to look at this. You don't know a stranger, and you're a brilliant woman, and you can speak to these folks in these premium cars, you know? And so they just started, they came to the meeting last month, US at Maryland, you know, and could see that this was an avenue that you can create a life for yourself.
Yeah. And I had one sign up
I know.
earlier. Oh, you heard?
I heard Mike signed up. Yes, I know, I'm here to help you all.
And he's so excited. And he just texted me today. He cannot wait till I get them in the mail. He's so excited to start. Yep, he's so excited.
It's one step leads to the next. One step leads to the next step. And you know, let's just chat for a bit, because we've talked about Eon, we've talked about the energy patch. That's one of the reasons I really like listening to David Schmidt, because he'll talk about it, and he's the show's answer man. But, you know, I've heard him say often how he personally uses, well, let me back up. X39 is the master switch. Never not use X39. Never not. Don't question it. Don't. Just like Angeline shared her story, meaning so she slid back down the pole, okay? But she had only used the X39 and maybe Eon though for about, so March, April, May, and then she didn't do it for a month, and that's what she was sharing. So don't stop using X39. Yes, ma'am.
I like to say that I had a hard time doing it every day on time. I would forget about it till now it's noon, or you know, I didn't have it on the next morning. So I set my alarm.
That was just
on my
thinking about it every day.
Yeah. Otherwise, the day gets away from you and
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
But you know, I'm gonna say though, as David says, don't worry about it, meaning that, I mean, I am the worst. I mean, I'll wake up and say, oh my God, I didn't take it off, I and so, oops, so,
I wanna be consistent.
well, that's,
And sometimes I wanna say you don't even know something that's happened to you that's
Yeah.
really amazing. Until my daughter-in-law was looking for some allergy pills for her and her son because they were just having a terrible time. And I said, oh, I got some. And that's when I realized I didn't need them anymore. I wasn't having any problem. And a year before that, I mean, the doctor couldn't give me anything that worked.
Yeah, I've been taking Zyrtec, but I'm gonna stop pretty
do
soon.
stop.
Pretty soon, pretty
You're
soon.
having trouble and.
Oh, yeah, I don't like taking anything but supplements. That's the only thing I take besides this.
And then a couple things really weird, what do you call these things on your, like on those ganglion cysts?
Yes.
The one on my left hand is gone and the one on my right hand is gone. I was like, yes, I don't know. My God.
It's remarkable, isn't it?
Jeez.
The other thing I was just thinking when you were saying, Michelle, who, you know, with the tinnitus, her, it's not her grandmother, it's her aunt. But again, this gets back to people, I mean, it's changed her life. And then her family, they're from Georgetown, they see this. And her aunt was really sliding down the pole with dementia. I mean, really, one of the young men got married, and I mean, she just was a mess. I'm talking about last spring. And she said, whatever her name is, can I do this? She's talking to her aunt. And finally, the aunt said, okay. And so, because she didn't want to just do it. And finally, the aunt said, okay. And very quickly, the aunt, and she shared this last month, we heard her sharing about her aunt with the dementia. But that she is now really remembering everyone's name. She's telling her where, you know, are you gonna pick me up for my doctor's appointment? Meaning, so it's truly everything, everyone, just a matter of time.
And nobody has anything to lose by doing it.
And that's what I actually see. Okay.
We're working on our 87-year-old mother. She's very stubborn. She keeps saying no, and we're hoping, so one of the family members, when they start doing it, there's a few of them. And I think that that's probably gonna help, hopefully.
Yeah.
But she does have a little bit of dementia, and
She has
so,
a
which can be frustrating, well, we all know. And so, we're hoping that hopefully in the next 6 to 12 months, she'll do it.
No, she told it'll be sooner than that. Sooner than, honestly,
Yeah.
because you guys are just, you know, getting involved and excited and seeing a difference.
Yes.
And all of that. But Eon is for inflammation and again, back to David Schmidt, he says, I'm not saying you shouldn't do this because he says whatever works for you, do it. But he uses X39 and 49 during the day and Eon at night when he sleeps. And his logic is because the body repairs itself as it's sleeping.
I just recently started on the X39 also because it's both a build bone and muscle.
Yeah.
And that's what I need for this arm, because it was like 2.5 years ago, I had a catastrophic fall.
Oh my God.
I broke my pelvis in 2 places, and this arm and shoulder was. Doctor said, without surgery, he recommended surgery, but I don't know why he said, no. He said, I've never raised a tire than this. Well, now I can take stuff in and out of the microwave, I can put dishes into the shelves.
She was in Wisconsin for Christmas and she fell down.
Arizona.
Someplace, not here.
Mary, hi Mary.
And this happened.
I was going up the stairs and I reached back to turn on the light, reached back too far. So I fell down the stairs on the cement floor.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
my gosh.
But she had stem cell perinatal right before she left
For something else,
for something else. But the physician in
or
the
fall from a mask.
made a comment like, wow, meaning the results of that fall could have been worse.
Yeah,
And I don't know how she got into my aunt and uncle's car and drove back to Texas in that condition.
Wow.
I don't know how, she refused to stay there and be hospitalized.
I wouldn't want to either, so there we
They didn't
go.
want to let me go, and they said, well, if you can push this walker down the hall here, we'll let you go, because they were sure I couldn't do it. I did it. And I was yeah, then, so,
Love it. So it's a common, and then you've been using the patches
yeah.
since then.
Unbelievable.
And David Schmidt during COVID in 22 was on, and these were private, these weren't out there, but interviews within the company. And he was already talking about vaccine injury then. And that's one of the reasons he put together the X49 to work with the X39 to build, because the heart is a muscle. And so to work together and of course the entire body. So, but
39 and
49.
49
There's a
during the
lot-
day.
That's what I do, that's what David Schmidt does.
You said 49 at night, is
No,
that?
no.
During the day.
39 and 49 during the day. and
Okay.
Eon at night.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
at night.
So it's the X39 you don't want to use at night because your stem cells.
But
need
yet
to-
somebody in this room said that it's changed their sleep.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
It has for me too.
So I'm saying, don't
be afraid.
I'm just sharing, but the bottom line is never not the X39. The master
Yes,
switch.
Now the Eon, what is that? I'm not familiar with that.
So Eon is actually a great tool to use for Angeline, are you there still?
I'm still here. Yeah,
Okay, so basically, have you started Bianca on Eon yet?
I did. Yeah, she's doing both.
Okay. So basically, your sister had a very rare form of brain tumor. More than one tumor?
Just the one.
That's one.
It was just really good, but it impacted her inflammation and stuff. The side effect of the chemo treatment has increased inflammation in her blood, and so her blood work and everything has been wonky, and so the Eon has helped with her inflammation.
And then you'll see the difference in the blood of the test shortly, with that.
Yep. Once we get the next blood work, I know for sure it's gonna be.
So it builds the immune system, Calvin. And so, there's no right or wrong with any of these though. But I wanted, before we close, I want to ask you, and Calvin, one of the things that would be helpful, I send you on the, I'm not saying you should be on all of these, but occasionally come into some of those Zooms because they really have great information. They really do. Don't you agree?
Yes, I've
Oh, you have? Oh,
Yes, I have.
good. And you've enjoyed
Yeah,
some stuff. Good.
Typically, the ones on what, Saturday.
The Saturday with
Sunday,
Danny is good,
Sunday
yes,
night, I
yes.
participate in
yes.
them, and I do it, I'm usually cycling, lifting.
And lifting, right.
Great, good for you.
I would like to add too with the Eon patch, I've read that it's a calming patch, and I think General Sullivan calls it the happy patch.
It helps you relax, it helps you better manage and reduce your stress. It's no drugs or no stimulants.
Hold it. What, say that again, please?
It helps you relax, it helps you better manage or reduce stress with no drugs or stimulants. So it's unlocking that relaxation on your body. So alleviating your discomfort, to help melt away any tension and brace relief. That's why the inflammation it gets reduced and stuff too, to help you get rid of all of that.
And that's what I know.
So the other A patch is called aloe vera. And aloe vera is for the skin. And so our dear friend Carla, which we don't have that slide, do we? Don't worry about it if you don't. But Carla, as I shared her a little bit about her earlier, but she lives in Little Rock and she's an esthetician as well, skincare specialist. And she has, but her field of favor are eyelash extensions. So she went there to launch her business in March, and she was wearing the patch on her hand because she had carpal tunnel. Now her hands are working perfectly.
My mother has had the worst carpal tunnel her whole life, or a long time. Gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
In a matter of like.
And I said to her, because as the Uber driver, I said to both of them, put it on your hand.
Oh,
So-
don't worry, that's why I wear
so
mine
people
during
say,
the day.
what is that?
I'm wearing it and I have to share it.
Mhm. So Carla, though, uses X39, X49, as well as aloe vera. And so one day she, I guess it was the testimony Tuesday, had a picture of and she was, again, us estheticians know to do this. She took a picture of herself before and then, and you talk about, who said about the bags? That was you, Kelly. Your bags under your eyes. And so, it's like, oh my goodness, it's truly see it. So I guess my point is, they work. So do you have any questions there? I mean, you've been the foster child of these patches for a bit, but I mean.
Interesting thing happening once a week.
The inherited child. But yes, but so everyone in the room. And
So here's the Alveda patch. It's natural restorative energy to improve your health and the radiance of your skin. It promotes the flow of your energy in your body, again, with no drugs or stimulants. My favorite patch, supporting patch, is the LifeWave patch. And
good.
this one releases negative energy to reclaim your active spirit. So it's a holistic approach for fast acting and non-addictive way to get rid of some pain. Like if you, for me, and even my husband, we pair it with the X39, like with my back pains during my monthly, I put it directly on my lower back where, you know, I had my labor pains and stuff, and instantly get relief. I get it even without the ice wave, but this is just an added, as they come.
Ice
you'll-
wave, ice
Yeah,
wave.
you'll instantly feel that.
Important one for you to know, Calvin. Yes,
Mhm.
I keep going, Angeline. Yes.
So I don't know what other patches you want, but to go over, but then the next one that I do love, because I've tried some of them. If you're having a hard time sleeping, the sleep nights is a great relaxation one. And it'll help you with a healthier sleep enhancer. X39 has also helped with that as well, but this kind of gets you into a gentle, restful state, deep relaxation, so that you can, without any other stimulants or drugs. Again, like I used to, some people like to take, my sister, she was very heavy on, what is that? Natural
Melatonin.
melatonin. You'd always take melatonin gummies and stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, your body, you know, already produces melatonin. The more that you produce, it's going to stop. And like this doesn't fight your natural state, right? This just enhances it. And then another one that I really like is the energy one. I know that Megan brought up energy enhancer. And that one supports your overall wellness. It helps the flow of your energy in the body. When I go, like if you're super into physical fitness and routines and stuff, kind of helps you balance all that and gives you an extra oomph of flow. For me, what I used it for personally is that I went to when I would go to Disney with my kids all day. I'm like, I'm gonna be there all day with them. I'm gonna be, and I have 4 boys, and it's long lines, and it's sunny Florida, hot heat, you know, like a furnace. I need that extra energy boost, and this helps me without wanting to like get in line to get some coffee. I can just get in line for rides instead. This powered through me the entire day, and I just felt amazing. Plus with the X39, again, always match it with the X39.
So.
The other ones you wanted me to go through?
No, I think that's good for now, because what I want to focus on as we finish up here, meaning as you start talking to people, because I just share really what questions I am asked all the time. Okay, because if I'm asked these questions, you're going to be asked these questions. And I mean, and when I'm sharing this with you right now, these are things that have been asked not 3 years ago or 4 years ago, meaning these are like right now. And basically don't get hung up on needing to know. I'm not saying you shouldn't know, but what I'm saying is the energy, the X39 is that master switch.
Never stop.
You never. And the other is meaning, so when you're in the Uber, when you're wherever, when you're that's what you share. Don't confuse the issue, because a confused mind says no. And if they say, well, what do I do? When do I do? Where do I put it? What do I do? Just put it on, you know, because the more, so like she hangs around with me a lot. Okay. And so, I mean, I've been using these for 4 years. So of course, over time, I'll say, you know, let me try the XYZ. But the bottom, and it's important to know that you don't have to know it now. Do not worry about that. Wear it and share it and keep using it. And if you know, the one most salient point that she made, Angeline made, was that she was feeling great. And then she's, you know, life got in the way. And but there's every reason for everything, right? There was a reason for everything. So it gave her that opportunity to see the difference, right? And so know your why. My why is you. My why, you've known me long enough. I mean, you looked at a little of what I do. Now, if I look at that stuff, I go, holy crap. But
It's a lot.
oh my God, but it's over a lot of years. And but it adds up to where we are right now. And you know, the thing about Julie Craig is that, and I've said this to Calvin, but and she certainly knows this, but she walked up to me. It was the weekend we did the vendor fair thing here on the square. And I was in the coffee shop getting Flynn and I coffee. And she walked up and I had met her at some networking things, but she said, hi, and do you have any room here? Because she wanted to expand her own personal, not work, the practice she worked at. And I said, maybe. And so God has a plan. God has, timing for things. And so, this girl and her sister, love her to death. Like sister, but they run this whole thing. I mean, it's like a lot of people. They take care of a lot of people. And so this is going to give them the opportunity with something that is fabulous, that truly works.
Yeah.
Simply.
Yep.
Simply works. And just take that message forth. Just take it forth. But yes, I'm gonna do this every month. And it'll be either the second to last or the last Tuesday of every month. And then, because there's a networking thing that she and I do the last Tuesday of the month here. So, but I think the next time it will be, because it's getting close to the holiday, it'll be fun to be in there, and expand it. And you can bring people, because that's the best way, right? For real. I mean, to let that be doubting Thomases, right? Because don't you agree, the testimonies are the key?
Yeah, like for me, I'm not the kind of, I'd make a horrible like used car salesman or something. I'm just too honest, and so like I can't be excited till I know it works for me, and then I will like a friend and I say, Deborah, is like we're gonna shout it from the rooftops. You can't stop us. Yeah, Deborah, this one.
And
Yeah. So, but until then, I don't know if I have enough enthusiasm to share it other than you should at least look at this, but bringing them here or
yes,
somewhere where the people are genuinely enthusiastic. I don't have to be, it's not that I would be a liar, but you know what I mean? I don't want to exaggerate. I don't want to, I want to tell my story when it's genuine, but if other people are here, I can bring them here
oh yes,
to hear the genuineness.
100%,
Oh, yeah.
100%,
Yeah.
100%.
Because I just am not rah-rah yet.
No.
I am so curious though, and so interested and so hopeful, because I need it.
So I want to ask you, Calvin, to that. Do you feel that you are comfortable sharing, or because you just recently brought it, Julie told me, a couple of gals or guys or people.
Yeah, I'm comfortable sharing, but I think what the young lady on the front row was saying is true. If you have personal experience with it and it worked for you, you're more enthusiastic about just sharing and telling the story. Plus, you want to help people.
Yeah.
And there are lots of people that I know that I think would benefit from this. And I'm going through it myself. So once I reap as many benefits as I can,
Right.
then I'm gonna get after those people.
Right.
I mean, with both hands.
Right. You got love and arms. But I think what you're saying, Kelly, and what you just concurring is next month, and I'll probably be here, and then we'll go in, because next month's October, and then we'll go over there in November and December, because it'll be fun. But bring people.
I really like that idea. We can bring people.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Please bring. And that's why Angelina and I are doing this, because there are people all over
Right.
that can't be here, but they can certainly listen to us, and they'll get more courage and come on, next time. But it is about that sharing, that truly is. So would you like to say anything more? I mean, was this good? Did you like this?
Yeah, I'd like to say a little bit more. Please. So one thing that's really helped me is to listen to these amazing testimonies of other people.
Yes.
And I'd like to share those with people, and even send a testimony that's similar to something they might need information about, and they can relate to it, and it gives them hope. But I mean, some of these testimonies, they're just miraculous. They're so amazing and so exciting, what these patches can do. And I want to share just a little testimony about my dog. I have a little dog. She looks like a little toy poodle, and she's 12 years old, and she's pretty healthy. She's doing okay. But I saw a picture of a dog that had cataracts before it was patched. They patched the dog, no cataracts afterwards. I don't know how long the dog was patched, but I thought, well, when I take my patch off, I've heard that it'll last another 46 hours in general. So I thought I want to take advantage of that and use it on my dog, even though my dog was fine. So what I would do, I would take the patch on the back of her neck and put packing tape, clear packing tape, and help hold it down. But there was one issue with my dog that I just didn't think much about. But because she's 12 years old, she was developing these moles throughout her body. And she had one on her head, she had one on her back, she had one on her side, and then on the one side, she had a mole about the size of a marble. It was pink and it was really gross. It was huge. My daughter was so upset about it and thought it was cancer and asked me to take her to the vet, so I did. This is before we tried the patch, but anyway, he said, "Oh, you don't have to worry about that." But it was unsightly, and when I would pat her, I wouldn't like to touch it.
Yeah.
So anyway, I patched her for just a week, and I would keep the patch on her a little bit longer than even 6 hours sometimes, just in case it had some, beneficial use. So it was 7 days later, I was petting her, and I went over her side, and I realized her mole was gone.
Oh, wow.
And I looked, and it was just this little flat area where the mole had been, and I called Brittany, and Brittany said, "Yep, happens all the time." I thought, what is going on here? I did hear that even with humans, we can lose our moles too,
Yes.
and our skin takes.
Oh, that's.
But I wasn't expecting this to happen with my dog.
That's good.
The mole on her forehead, I could barely find. The mole on her other side, I could not find. And the mole on her back had shrunken down and was crusty and hard, like it was disappearing and getting ready to fall off. And then my daughter now has her dog and she hasn't been patching her, but still for that to happen, told me the power of these patches.
Amen.
That we do that for our dogs.
Yes, Miss Coita.
Talking about stuff like that, I have like hundreds maybe of peritopa, you know about that?
Yes.
And it's like crusty and.
It's a pre-cancer, but it's not cancer.
No, all of my crusty stuff has fallen off.
Mhm.
Oh, no way, and I so many of them.
They're called barnacles. They call barnacles. And you have to carry big bucks to get them off.
Big bucks.
Big bucks.
Speaking of dogs,
She didn't
I don't know. Yeah, I used to have.
Yes.
Yes. So I'm her dog. When she finishes with her patch, I take it.
Ladies,
Yeah.
our friend is there.
I've been doing that
Bear is his
2
name.
weeks.
We're moving on to about 20.
Calvin, let me fill in. She's been using the patches and then she takes them off there through the 10 hours and she gives them to him.
Yeah, because basically
So
we
that's
want
what
to see
he
how
said
it works
to
on
my
her.
dog.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't call them at all.
I was walking to the Florida fan.
it just,
Megan, I don't mean to interrupt you. Do you want to wrap up with the virtual people real quick?
Yes, I
And
think
while
so.
you guys
Let-
continue your
let-
conversation.
Would they want to share anything? Excuse me.
No, no one raised their hand, but we do
Okay.
thank everyone on virtual for joining.
Yes,
Do you want to say last words? If you
I
want to put the
would.
camera
Thank
to
you.
you.
Hold your thoughts.
Moving through that.
Yes, thank you, guys. And we have had a unanimous decision here that we're going to continue on and this will only grow. And so I ask you guys the same thing. We see you all the time, in our Zooms, but this special one, once a month, the last Tuesday, and there's Quinn, he's saying hello. And we're going to keep doing this and you bring friends every week. Don't just wait for once a month, but come on to all these Zooms. But thank you so much. And Angeline Moore, extraordinary job. Thank you so much, hon.
Thank you.
Really,
Good night.
thank you.
Good
Thank
night,
you.
everyone. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you, everyone who is live on YouTube. Join us again next month, and we will see y'all soon. You'll be hearing more from us. Have a wonderful night and be blessed.